We have our window all insulated up and covered with cardboard. We've got it all sealed so we don't get any drafts. We've been saying we don't want any drafts. See? We don't want any drafts in for winter. So we've got it all covered and insulated. Chase is home today and Philip and Chase are getting the rest of the shelving put together so that I can get all of our Atlantic Soap and Tallow stuff all situated. So it's gonna go all the way down this wall here. And then we still have one more narrow one that goes over here. It's a pouring rain day. So this is a perfect day to get some more of this built. Okay, we are all the way down the wall and they're just about to do the last narrow one that goes on this end. This is so exciting. I can't wait to fill these up. Today's video is sponsored by Atlantic Soap and Tallow. Grab one of your holiday bundles today. We have $18, $30, and $40 bundles, and we only have 30 left. So if you're wanting to purchase, make sure you go on and do that because when they're sold out for the season, they're sold out. Our curing process is 4 to 6 weeks for our soaps, and so it's unable for us to restock this holiday season. 30 left in stock. So if you want yours today, head to atlanticsoapandtallow.com. We also have many of the items on our website, 25% off right now, if you'd like to give us some support and try out our new products. We are just 7 days away from our first holiday market. As you know, every year is a tradition. My boys and I do a Christmas market, and this year things are looking a little bit different because we're taking our Atlantic Soap and Tallow business instead of Christmas ornaments. We've done literally 16 years of taking homemade Christmas ornaments and, crafting DIYs. And so this year we're doing something a little different, but we're very excited. We've got a bunch of things that we have to get done this week in order to get prepared for the craft shows, in addition to orders and all kinds of other things we're working on. But today we have to go to town because we need to get a bunch of wood for some things that we're making for the holiday market. It has been absolutely storming for the last 7 days and the farm is just an absolute soggy mess, and it has been an absolute nightmare tending to the farm in the freezing cold pouring rain. Well, YouTube family, in case you're wondering what it's like on a farm when it's only 5 p.m. and it's storming, it's absolutely pouring rain, it's so windy, my wheelbarrow is blowing over. But before I get to go to bed tonight, I have to top up and do all the evening chores. The weather, I waited, instead of doing it at like 3:30, 4 o'clock for the night. All the animals were in their barns already because today it's been storming all day. But you have to do this, doesn't matter. So if you're thinking about getting animals and you're thinking about getting a farm, you have to know that you're willing to go out no matter what the weather, rain, ice storm, blizzard, hurricane, you name it. Hottest day on earth, you gotta be out there and make sure your animals are good. So I just topped up the goatees. I'm just topping up hay for the cows and the horses for the night. All the troughs were already done earlier today when it was light out, but I always top up hay early in the evening for nighttime. So we're gonna go feed the pigs some grains, make sure everything's good for the night, and then go back in. It's literally so windy, my wheelbarrow blew over and started rolling. Insane. It's an insane night tonight. And I just can't even. I've been trying to give you an update on all the animals, but the weather has been absolutely terrible. Great to fill up everyone's wells before winter, so I'm thankful for the rain, but my goodness, what a mess. I'm in Walmart right now and we're looking for all of the Cricut materials because you all suggested that we need some Atlantic Soap and Tallow hoodies, and because we have the Christmas markets coming up, I want to make us a bunch of just plain colored hoodies that say Atlantic Soap and Tallow on the chest and then have our big logo on the back. So I'm looking for some transfer tape, and then I'm also looking for some white iron-on vinyl because our hoodies will be solid color. So I ordered the hoodies online because it was the least costly place to get it, and I'm looking for some smart iron-on that's just white. Our Walmart here has some Cricut vinyl. Most of the Walmarts in my area don't, so I'm very happy that this place has some. So we need some transfer tape. This is just one sheet, 48 inches. That is more than we need because we can reuse it. $6.77. Some transfer tape. We have some solid white t-shirts for $7 each, and then we need some smart iron-on. So this one's only 36 inches and we need to make 4, so that is not big enough. Okay, so I think we're gonna do 2 of these. 2 of these should do it. Let's make sure we can use it on my maker 3. Cricut maker 3. Okay, we're good. We need 1 of these. Okay, next stop today, we need a piece of wood to make another sign because we are launching at another store this week. So I need to go down and get a couple pieces of wood. We need to make a sign for the top of our tiered shelf like you saw us do for the pharmacy and the grocery store because we're launching at another store this week, which is so exciting. We go Monday, but we also need some wood because we are going to be working on a riser for the Christmas market. We do want to create some eye level variations in our table. Definitely boost sales when everything's not just like laying down on the table. So we need a couple pieces of wood. Okay, I'm learning with glasses that when you go out in the rain, it sucks. Okay, I'm in the hardware section in here. I know that I need this board here. This is the exact height of the other boards that we've been having. So I need to find a good one of these, and I can use the remainder of this for the sides of my risers. And then I need to choose what height I would like my risers to be. And I think I really don't want them much taller than a bar of soap. So I'm guessing we're gonna do this, which would be, maybe that's even too tall. What about our risers would be this height? Again, whenever you're working on anything for a craft market, I am going to use this for 4 markets, for at least maybe 5 markets in the next couple of weeks. And this is something that I can use again and again, time and time again when we have shows because we're gonna continue to do this business. So I'm okay investing a little bit of money, but especially because we're just starting out, I don't wanna spend a ton of money until I know what works and what doesn't, and I don't wanna buy something that's gonna go to waste. So I'm being super, super mindful because it's so easy so easy when you're launching a business to try to buy all the things all at one time, and then you get yourself maybe even in the negative starting your business. You put out a lot of money to invest to start. I've not put myself in a position where I am stressing over how much I make for the business. I am spending as minimal amounts of funds as possible, and I'm putting all of my expenses for the business into high quality products to send out to customers because it's my products that need to speak for themselves. But that still means I need to have a decent display to, first impressions when you walk up to a table. But my point is, when you're starting something, don't overspend. Try to use what you have. Be creative, think out of the box, borrow from a friend, rent something. Try not to spend too much to get started because you're going to get yourself in a stressful situation and you don't want that. You want to enjoy what you're doing. So to keep it less stressful for me, I try to keep my budget as small as possible. Try to spend as little as I can to be able to accomplish what I really want to, but still having it be great so that when I put my name attached to it, it's something that I can be proud of. So I'm going to get 3 of these narrow ones. Not sure if I'm going to need all 3 or not, but I'm going to get an extra one because I don't know how many tiers high I want to make it. And then this is going to do our side bases of our tier shelf and the shelf sign that we need for the store launch. Okay, let's go pay. I left off in the car. Keep it warm. It's a cold and rainy day. So we are just a week away from having our first holiday market. And this year, instead of taking ornaments, we are taking our Atlantic soap and tallow. You can see we have our shelving already. I'm just starting to be able to organize this and get our product moved from the soap lab, completed things into this room, which I haven't completed yet, but it'll be very fun for you to see later this week, all of this filled up with all of our different products. So my idea is that each of these sections has the little bin that the tags for that product go into. And then we can keep all of the individual types of soaps and types of eco products all on the different sections. So far it's working out amazing. And I'm using this far side over here for all of our packing and things like our tissue papers, different size boxes, anything for shipping and receiving. I think this is going to be a really great space for us to work everything. But I put down some tablecloths today because I'm going to make some things for our display. But I want to show you a few things that I've picked up to kind of start with. First thing, when we were at IKEA to get the shelving for this room, they had a couple of these that I still need to fluff up, Christmas trees, which I thought were very cute. I don't know if we'll use all of them or not. I bought 2 of these medium trees and 1 of the smaller ones. So today when I was in town, I picked up some little twinkle lights to put on at least the 2 bigger trees. So I thought if they fit on the table and we can incorporate them, then great. If not, I'm going to use them in the house for decor for holiday anyways. I already have some wood glue, which we're going to need because we picked up some wood to be able to make a sign for our actual table, which of course will say our business name and our logo. But I want to make some risers so that our soaps are sitting up a little higher then just lay it out on the table. And then I'm also kind of scouring the house to find what do I have that I can use to display products on the table. I have 2 of these like mirrored kind of trays here. I thought these would be really cute to put some of the beeswax products in because they're kind of honeycomb shaped. I have 2 of these. And then I have a variety of different sizes of these types of tubs. This one's a larger, medium. I think I have a couple smaller ones somewhere else. And then just some little basic wood trays. These are great to have on the table with things because I can have them on the table and just put a little block under them and they'll be more visible from eyesight of the front of the table. The idea is to create some type of a display where there's multiple levels and there's lots to look at. If things are just laying flat down on the table, it's not visually as appealing to customers as if you've put what looks like some effort into what your table looks like. Because I don't want to go Christmassy and I want to go more winter holiday themed, I didn't want to get a Christmas decorative tablecloth. So we opted for just sort of a blue and white pinstripey nautical look. Again, I could use this on a totally different season. So this was a buy once, use a million times kind of tablecloth. If I don't use it for business later, I'll use it here at the house. But this is big enough for an 8-foot table. I think that would be really cute, especially when we have some of our bluish shaded soaps as well, our Atlantic Tides. This kind of just ties in with the vibe of our table. The boys and I have also, I should even say the boys and I because I didn't do this. The boys have prepared different size bags. So if someone purchases something from the craft show, we have our larger bags. I'm not going to fluff them out yet because we have a huge bin of them to take. We have sort of a medium with a handle and then 2 smaller bags. So depending on what customers leave with, we have different size bag options to be able to put their product in. And there would be a little thank you with our website inside. Similar to when you receive an order from us, you get a card. You get a card in your package that says your order made our day. Thank you so much. There's a little blurb there. And then on the bottom, it says our website and how to contact us. So one of these will be in each of the bags. That way, if someone receives this in a little bag as a gift, they'll know where that product came from. Maybe they want to buy again in the future. And or if they're buying it for themselves and they love it, they can order again by going to the website. Free marketing just for the cost of a couple really tiny little paper slips. And these bags did cost us some money. They're not entirely the cheapest things to be able to offer a bag, but I think it's really important, especially since we're a new business, to have our branding, our logo, and our contact, get some products in people's hands in our local community, and maybe we'll get some repeat customers locally in our area from that. So I think a little bit of investment goes a long way to show, the professionalism in putting things all together. I also have a little display shelf here that Philip's mama gave me, which I think we could utilize for the show as well. I need to tighten this up a little bit before that. And other than that, I think we're going to take a combination of like different baskets, different things we can tier up so that we can make our display look really, eye and visually attractive and display all the products really nice. So you remember we have soaps of many kinds, towels, lip balms, dish soap bars, our cotton rounds. We have a variety of different things, shampoo bars, things that colored in texture and look different from one another, but yet some are similar products. We want to be able to display them in a really unique way. The first show isn't going to be the biggest show that we go to, which will be a great test for us to test out our table setting, have some time when it's not as busy to play around with the table. I'm anticipating our second and third shows to be our busiest shows, and then our fourth one is kind of a toss-up. I don't know. So we want to make sure that we have enough inventory for all 4 shows to be super busy. Because if you remember from our very first craft show, we took 300 ornaments and we sold them all within 40 minutes of the show starting. So the second year we made double, sold out again in an hour and a half. And then the third year we thought we made so many ornaments that there's no way we could sell them all, and we sold out by 11 o'clock. I don't really want to sell out. I want to take enough that we can just keep topping up the table. Again, the goal here isn't for how much money we can make, but how much product we can get into people's hands to try our product. So that's kind of, this year it's about marketing, being present in the community, and things like that. Not that I don't care about making extra money. Obviously, every family would love to make extra money. But the goal here is to just get the products visually out there for people in our community. Okay, I'm going to start working on building the riser. I actually forgot, because we went and did a whole bunch of errands today for the business, that I also picked up 2 other things. I picked this up at the dollar store. It says the beehive, and it's just, bee honeycomb shaped, and already has some detailing in them. I thought this would be really cute to change these into maybe like little chalkboards or just paper display where I could put prices or labels or something on here, because it was honeycomb shape. It was $1.25. I thought it was cute. I also picked up some batteries for these little LED lights that we're going to string up the Christmas trees with. And then I was looking on Amazon, or just somewhere inexpensive. Remember, I live in the middle of nowhere. For something that would be a little tiered tray, we could maybe put some lip balms or something on. And the dollar store had this for $5. Woo! The dollar store had this for $5. So I'm going to build it and see if it's usable. It was $5. So we'll see. If it's not, then, you know, wasn't such a big loss. But I thought, how bad can it possibly be? Looks cute so far. These are 2 circles for the platforms, and looks like it's pretty easy here, so we're going to put it together quickly. So here. Okay, it was worth the $5. I think it's cute. There we go. And then I will be able to put some lip balms around the bottom, which I think will look really nice. So we can put vanilla ones up top, peppermints on the bottom. We also have our honey chapsticks that we can put on. But I think that was worth $5. And we will use that again. We can decorate it or use it for different holiday seasons. And it just would. So kind of goes with our natural theme. Okay, so let's see how these will glow. So I think we'll just do the 2 big trees. I'm always surprised with how many batteries these little tiny LED light things need. Usually they need 3 or 4. Oh, they're so bright. They're beautiful. I'm glad I bought 2 because I couldn't remember how many of the large trees that I bought I thought I bought 2. But I couldn't remember, and I just wanted to be able to put lights on the big ones. Sometimes when you're working at a craft show, they'll ask you if you want power, and I always say no, because usually there's an extra fee if you want to have power. And the events that we're going to, none of them cost more than $20 to go, which is so lovely. If you remember when we were in Ontario, one of the big events that we did was almost $1,500 to go. And Philip's mom and I shared being able to go because it was obviously such a large cost. But I will never do an event like that again, because just because the show is a really big show and it's expensive to go does not mean that your sales will equate to that. And oftentimes big shows like that are more of an event, and less people are actually shopping. I always do better at shows where it might only cost us $10 or $20 to go. Then you don't feel like you're putting out all of your profits from your inventory in your actual table fees. So I don't want to do any cutting. I don't want to do any cutting in this room or in the house now that we're doing our products, because I'm definitely not going to cut in the soap lab, and I'm not going to use my saw in this room where we prepare all of our packages. So I'm going to go outside in the rain and cut some of these shelving pieces that we're going to use to make our risers, and then I'm going to bring them back outside and show you. It's just no point taking the camera out. It's pouring rain still. We really don't have to fuss with this too much because it was very easy. I just made some very simple shapes and they're the same. So I'm going to glue them. So ideally what's going to be will be like this, all leveled out. We can paint it whatever color we want. Probably just paint it white so that our soaps are more of the focal point. I'll move this down a little bit. So we will be able to line this up perfectly here, and we're going to put some wood glue on it. This was a much more inexpensive way to be able to do this than ordering a pre-made tiered little rack online. Plus we're running out of time and we don't really have the best options for timeline for us to be able to ship something to us. Okay, we have a little bit of fussing to do, but you can see how this is going to work like that. And then our soaps, the ones on the bottom, we'll be able to have more on this shelf. So we'll be able to have 3 or 4, so we can stack some in front, we can stack some all the way up, and then we'll have some on each of the tiers, which I think is going to be great. Okay, we have some wood gluing to do. I'll start with the top here, get it all squared up. can have one of the boys paint this for us. Dayton loves to do this kind of stuff. From the scrap pieces of the board that was the wider board that we purchased, we're going to make an Atlantic soap and tallow sign that has our actual name on it. And then just like we did for the stores, I would really like to do the red maple leaf that says made in Guysborough or made in Nova Scotia. That way they know, since we're going to be at community events like right in our community, that they're made right here. I think that's really important to be able to have that on our shelf. So I'm definitely going to cut out a couple of those maple leaves and have them one for our display to take to the markets. Okay, I think that works out great. I'm gonna leave that for a bit. I'm going to probably fire a couple of brad nails in just to each of the tops, but I'll wait for this to dry before I bring that big brad nailer and air tank into where the porch is. Because again, I don't want to be building anything in here where I'm sanding or using the saw or anything like that. I've got some table mats down just to make sure we don't get anything in here, and I can do an easy cleanup. But I think that works out perfect. I don't really need a backer on these because the soaps are going to fit. For example, our honey and oat soaps, they fit nicely. And we're gonna, you know, the holes are gonna be covered anyway, so I think this is perfect the way that we have it. All right, we still have a bunch left, so I'm debating on whether or not I want to make another one or not. Maybe a different style. I kind of have an idea in mind. I was thinking like a 3D Christmas tree triangle would be cute to put some tallow into, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough wood. I'll have to play around with it. I'm gonna leave this be for a few minutes and then I can work my way around that. I decided that I wanted to make a little bit of a 3D Christmas tree. So I'm going to glue this together, and then once it's glued together, I can make a couple of little shelves of maybe we could put some tallow in, so it looks like the tallow jars are Christmas balls. I'm not sure if this idea is entirely gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try. Just gonna put some wood glue on it. We're gonna let it dry for a little bit, and then I can come back and trace where the shelves need to be at the bottom. It's not perfect. It's pouring rain, and I couldn't find my square, but I think it's not gonna be too bad. Pretty sure I left my square outside by the garage, and it's very, very dark out and pouring rain. So we're gonna just leave that like that for about 15 minutes or so. Again, it's not gonna be perfect, but that doesn't matter. No one's gonna judge. If people are judging my Christmas tree shape, then my products are not good enough to be displayed on the table. But the idea is gonna be that this will be cut inside, and then we'll have a shorter one here, and then we can put some tallow in between. We still have an extra piece, so we can use that for another project another day. I think the Christmas tree looks super cute lit up. Dayton's gonna end up doing the other ones. This one's super smushed from being on its way home from IKEA. We're gonna have our tiered rack here, our triangle shape. We have a bunch of other display baskets and things, and then more trees. Okay, so here is my little Christmas tree out of the scraps. I think it's super cute. You'll have to ignore all my wet wood glue and my tape that's holding it in place, but I'll show you what my idea was. Hopefully this doesn't fall because it's not dry yet, but my idea was to put some of our tallow jars so it kind of looked like they were the Christmas balls on our shelf. And put more on the bottom shelf. Probably put another one there as well, but you get the idea. I think it'll be really cute. We're gonna have some extras in baskets as well, but just so that it will look festive on the table. Okay, so I need your suggestions. Should I paint the risers white or a color? Should I paint the tree green, or should I just stain it or leave it white, like paint it white? I need some suggestions on what you think will look best. Oh my gosh, I am covered in hay. We just went out in the pouring rain to do the rest of the late night farm chores. It feels like it has been never ending over the past 8 or 9 days since the weather has been so terrible. Sopping wet, you're covered in wet everything. It's so hard to do all of the chores, but we really need to make sure that all of the animals are taken care of. Obviously, it's our number one priority, and so it doesn't matter what the weather. We are out there and it is storming like crazy. I cannot believe that our internet has kept up and we're actually able to post our video. So fingers crossed tonight's video can get posted on schedule. We have a huge sale going on Atlantic Soap and Tallow, and I was hoping that we were going to have our holiday bundles. I showed them at the beginning of this video. We have small, medium, and large bundles. We only have 30 bundles left. And you might be asking, well, why are they selling out? Can't you just make more? I actually can't, because those bundles, the soap is made and already cured in order for those to ship out on the 20th of November, so they can arrive in time for Christmas. So once they're sold out, they are sold out. We are launching something really fun on the Black Friday sale weekend. Something new is coming to Atlantic Soap and Tallow, and it is going to be super fun, something that we can do together every single month, and I'm really excited about it. Those are going to get posted. I'll give you an update. You get to see kind of a little sneak peek of that sometime this week while we're working on all of these things as well. And I know you really want an animal update, but truly it has been storming like crazy. And so we're making the best of this bad weather, finishing some painting projects inside and getting ready for some of our holiday markets. I'm dying to know if you're doing any Christmas markets yourself, so let me know. And if you would like to support what we're working on, you can head to atlanticsoapandtallow.com and order one of your own items of ours to support us and our channel. And also we have those Christmas gift bundles that are an insane deal right now for how many products you get. And there's glue on me. There's 3 different price points, a lower price point at $18, a $30, and a $40 price point. So no matter what you want to spend for the holidays, that is a really amazing gift to give, the gift of some all natural products that are made right here on our homestead by us, and my family and I are doing this all together. So I love you. Thank you so much for being part of today's video. Let me know if I should be painting the things on the display white, so our soaps really are the things that shine. Give me some suggestions, or if you have an idea for me that you haven't seen me do in this video, I am all ears. I have a week to get ready, so let me know down in the comment section.